Well, welcome back. It is time for another truck camper video. It's been a little over a year, 16 months, I guess, since we brought the Host Everest home. Haven't used it as much as we wanted to, of course, but I've used it enough to know what we do like and what we don't like. So I'm gonna give you 5 pros and 5 cons of what we like about this exact setup. I'm gonna do the truck as one part. It's just one pro to this whole setup. I feel like most of you probably care more about the camper and the truck, but got the 550 all set up now. There's a whole video about weights and everything out there on my channel if you want to go check that out. I just installed my boxes. Finally got those. Took about 3 months to get those. They had to custom make them after I ordered them. The reason I like these boxes is you can see they're slanted and they sit a little lower than what you normally see in this situation, but I can open my boxes without worrying about my turnbuckles and get access to whatever's in there if I need to while the camper's on there. So overall, love the truck. I've managed to get this thing to only squat 1.5 inches with this camper on there. That is just with the 550 and adding the rubber timbering shocks. It took about 1 inch away from the squat situation. You'll notice the truck seems to squat a little bit more than 1.5 inches, but I'm not really sure why, but these cabin chassis, especially this 550, it pretty much sits level instead of having the like a normal pickup truck sits about 1.5 inches, 2 inches lower in the front. This truck sits level without anything on it, so that's why it looks a little more squatted than it is. Pro number 1 is the truck, just in general. Ton of storage on here compared to a typical pickup truck. If you just had a regular bed, you really don't have any storage once the camper's in there, but with the flatbed setup, get a ton of storage. Got the fuel tank in between the truck and the camper. Got 90 gallons altogether on here. So pro number 1 is the truck, just in general. Now to piggyback off that, pro number 2, loading is way easier with the flatbed in my opinion. You have a flat rail down the side instead of the wheel well of the truck sticking out, and the wheel well kind of distorts your vision when you're looking in the mirror or looking out the window back at it, and you can't really get a straight line on whether you're straight or not when you're going to the camper. With the flatbed and that rail, it's much easier to stay straight as you're coming back. That's been my experience anyway. So pro number 3 would be the truck camper itself. It's just easy to travel. You're more compact than having a trailer behind you. You can pull into a regular parking space. Obviously you need a pretty big parking space to pull this rig in there, but overall it's still very easy to travel with and maneuver. So that would definitely be pro number 3 for me. We're on the outside of the camper right now. I'm gonna go with pro number 4. Particular to the Host, I don't remember seeing this setup on other brands that we looked at, but the sliding drawer is probably my favorite feature on this camper. Gives you a pretty good amount of storage for a truck camper. Other ones we looked at, they had compartments, but nothing quite like this. So if there's other brands out there that do have this, then I'm wrong, but as far as I know, pro number 4, definitely this sliding drawer underneath the living area of the camper. All right, so here's a quick glimpse. There's a full tour out there on the channel if you want to see it. Spacious for a truck camper, especially. Triple slides, plenty of room. Just 2 of us in here. The 3 dogs take up a lot of room, but it definitely is nice. It's just like I said on pro number 3, it's just easy. You're pretty compact and traveling's easy. Although it's extremely large for a truck camper, being one of the biggest ones probably out there still. It's still compact in my eyes. I mean, you're basically just driving your truck. So, pro number 5. I very much like the bathroom in here. I'm not a huge fan of the toilet, the way it sits kind of on this double ledge. It's kind of awkward, but in terms of space and shower space especially, pro number 5 for this camper is definitely gonna have to be the bathroom. Compared to what we look, especially the wet baths. I couldn't even wrap my head around wet baths when we were looking at them. So full dry bath, I can fit in the shower without any issues. So pro number 5, definitely that bathroom for me. Since we're inside, we'll start the con list out with the interior features that I'm not real fond of. They did a great job with the lighting in here. There's plenty of light, but one thing I dislike is that each one is controlled manually. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual lights to turn on each time you walk in. You want a good amount of light plus what's in the bedroom. I would have preferred it if it was just, I mean, it's not a big area, so I don't know why it can't just be switched as one light that lights up the living area and then one light for the bedroom area. But that's a pretty small minor inconvenience, so not a big deal. That's pretty nitpicking right there. So con number 2 for me, since we're on the inside, is the couch and the dinette. The dinette for us basically works as storage. I don't think we've ever sat there and ate a meal. Maybe we have. I don't think we have, but usually when we're using this camper, we are outside enjoying ourselves, not inside. So this dinette to me would work better as the storage, like maybe more cabinetry, things of that nature. And the couch being, I like the couch. I like the couch placement. It's just not comfortable. It needs something else, but I'm still happy with it. It has footrests that pop up, but my legs hang off the footrest about 2 feet, so they don't do a whole lot. So couch and dinette would definitely be different for me. That is con number 2. So we're gonna go outside and go through the rest of them. There it is. That would be con number 3. The entryway. You can see it's pretty narrow. And then as you walk in, you kind of run into the couch as well. I kind of just noticed that I kind of do a little sideways shoulder shrug when I walk in to kind of clear the doorway all the way completely. The steps are also narrow, which isn't a huge deal, but when it's on the truck, if you are trying to get in there, it's pretty high and steep. But entryway, con number 3. Also, ton of questions out there about accessing this camper. Hold on. All right, a lot of questions out there on the original tour video of accessing this camper with the slides in. No, you cannot access any of this camper with the slides in. Now, I know that's a game changer for most people and they don't want anything to do with it, but these slides are the quickest I've ever seen in terms of going out. So if you do need to get in there, you don't even have to take the slide out all the way to get in completely. But if you do want to put the rear slide out, it's a pretty quick process. So open the door. I mean, it's 15 seconds, you have all your slides open. So real quick, I'm gonna show you guys the camper with all the slides in, because I know there's a lot of you out there that want to see that. Okay, all the slides are in, so here you go. Up the steep stairs, in between passenger slide and rear slide. I'm gonna try to show you this the best I can because I'm still stuck in the doorway. So that's your camper. That's your camper with your slides in. There ain't nothing there. We can fit a cooler in the open space in between the 2 slides, but that is it. There's no accessing it. Even to get to the bathroom, the driver's slide has to go out a little bit. So there's your answer for all those asking about what this thing's like with the slides in. All right, we'll get this out of the way here. So, con number 4 with this setup is more the truck than the camper. Spare tire does not go under the bed on this flatbed like a normal pickup, so you got to deal with that all the time. I'm glad I did find a pretty decent way to mount it. It is on my hitch extension that runs out to either the carrier or the boat, so it does mount on there pretty well. It took me a while before I realized that was an option. But even with it right there, it's, like I said, it's a good spot. It's actually probably easier to get to with the truck camper on if I needed it, but it's a pain because it's got to come off and on, has to go on and off of the hitch extension each time I use the camper, which really isn't that big of a deal since we don't really get to use as much as we want to. But it's always in the back of the truck or rolling around. It's always kind of just in the way. So it's probably the worst, probably the only negative thing I have to say about the flatbed setup. Con number 5, and the fact that this made the list shows you how few things I actually dislike about this camper. These latches on this host are just, it's like every time I go to do something, there's another one that sticks. It's just annoying. So once again, nitpicking a little bit here to get you 5 cons on this setup, but that's gonna make the list at number 5. So to recap, 5 pros with this setup. The truck just in general is 1. It's awesome. We love it. Flatbed, number 2, is easier to load with. Con number 3, just traveling with the truck camper is extremely easy. Pulling to just about anywhere with it. Number 4 was the sliding drawer in the back. Love it. Plenty of storage. Got storage all through the bedside now. Got the drawers underneath, and then with the slide out drawer in the back, plenty of dry storage, and usually have something behind us too. So storage is no longer an issue, which it was one of our biggest concerns when we first got this. And pro number 5, the bathroom, absolutely love it. It's really about the only thing I use inside other than the bed. The bed's comfortable too, no complaints, but the bathroom, it's one of the biggest things in a camper, especially a truck camper, to find a decent one, it seems like. So that bathroom in there is awesome. So there's your 5 pros. Cons. So inside we started the cons. The lights, that was pretty nitpick, but it is something that I'm not a huge fan of, the individual switches. And then the couch and the dinette, they are also, I don't know, I just feel like the space could, the couch, I like the couch and where it's at, but it could be better, the couch itself. But I think they're limited on the slides. So. Dinette is more storage for us. I feel like that could be a better setup, cabinet, something like that. Then we moved outside, the entryway, which I think a lot of you were noticing on the tour video. Very narrow. It's pretty steep, in and out. Kind of hard to get into if it's on the truck. You can see it sits high. That's another issue with the flatbed. It sits about 6 inches higher than the regular pickup bed, so it definitely raises your entryway. The tire, like I said, I'm happy with the storage where I can put it at when we're using it, but it's a pain in the going back and forth and swapping it, and it's always in the bed of the truck. So, and then nitpick number 2 was the latches. They just seem like they are always sticking. So I think you can tell not a whole lot wrong. I mean, the pros far outweigh the cons on this setup for us. We love it. We're very happy with it. Took me exactly a little over a year to get it everything the way I wanted it to. It's the 2nd truck we've been through with it. Just got everything put on the truck and we love it. Got all my tools, got a small air compressor in the truck. It's awesome. So very happy with it, the way it's all turned out. Hope you guys like it and maybe it'll help you with your decision. So let me know what you guys want to see truck camper wise. I try to think of different stuff, but if there's something on your mind you want to see, let me know and I'll make a video for you. So thanks for watching, guys.